they couldn't stand each other. Every test, every competition, every challenge, one had to outshine the other. Their rivalry was fierce, their arguments endless, and their pride unshakable. But what happens when two sworn rivals are forced to work together? What happens when late-night arguments turn into laughter, and stolen glances reveal feelings neither of them can deny? This is not just a story of love, it's the most unexpected love story of all, where enemies became lovers. Love doesn't always arrive with roses and gentle words. Sometimes it comes disguised as rivalry, hidden beneath pride, arguments, and endless competition. This is the story of two people who were never meant to be together, or so it seemed. They challenged each other, they fought each other, and yet, somewhere between the battles and the victories, something unexpected happened. This is how two rivals discovered the most unexpected love of all. From the very first semester, they were constantly compared. If Aarav won the debate competition, Meera would take the prize in essay writing. If Meera topped the class in economics, Aarav would lead the science fair team to victory. Their names became inseparable, not as a pair, but as rivals locked in an endless duel. Every time one of them succeeded, the other was there, ready to challenge, to prove, to surpass. Their friends teased them, professors joked about their rivalry, and soon it became a known fact across the campus. Aarav and Meera were sworn competitors. But rivalry, as intense as it was, brought them closer in ways neither of them wanted to admit. They spent more time observing each other than anyone else, studying each other's strategies, learning from each other's mistakes, and pushing each other to the limit. What started as a battle of pride slowly became a force that made them both better, sharper, stronger. And somewhere hidden beneath the challenges, the arguments, and the sarcastic remarks, there was an unspoken connection neither of them dared to acknowledge. One winter, the university announced a grand inter-college competition, a cultural and academic festival where the best students from across the state would participate. To win here was to bring prestige to the university, and naturally, Aarav and Meera were the top choices. But this time, there was a twist. Instead of competing against each other, the faculty decided to pair them up as a team. At first, both resisted. Aarav argued he worked better alone. Meera claimed she couldn't possibly match his arrogance, but the decision was final. They were going to represent the university together. The news spread like wildfire. Students whispered about how explosive this combination would be, two rivals forced to collaborate. Some predicted disaster, others excitement. For Aarav and Meera, it was pure frustration. The thought of working side by side with the person they had spent years trying to outdo felt unbearable. But fate had already tied their paths. The first days of preparation were filled with tension. Every decision turned into an argument, every suggestion into a battle of egos. If Aarav wanted to present a bold idea, Meera countered with a practical one. If Meera suggested a strategy, Aarav dismissed it as too cautious. Their meetings often ended with both storming out in opposite directions, leaving their teammates exhausted from the constant conflict. Yet, in the middle of those clashes, something subtle began to change. One evening, while working late in the library, Aarav noticed Meera sitting by the window, scribbling furiously in her notebook. She was so focused, her eyes intense, her lips slightly pursed in concentration. For the first time, he saw her not as a rival, but as someone deeply passionate about her dreams. He realized that her determination mirrored his own. Similarly, Meera began to notice the weight Aarav carried. Behind his confidence and pride was someone who worked tirelessly, someone who never stopped pushing himself to be better. Slowly, arguments turned into discussions. Disagreements became debates laced with laughter. They began to respect each other's strengths, to lean on each other's skills. Aarav admired Meera's clarity of thought, her ability to simplify complex problems. Meera admired Aarav's charisma, his talent for inspiring and motivating others. Together, they began to form a rhythm, like two instruments once clashing now playing in harmony. As the competition drew near, they spent long hours practicing, rehearsing, and planning. Late nights became normal, shared meals became routine, and conversations that once revolved around rivalry began to drift into personal stories, secrets, and dreams. Aarav found himself laughing at Meera's witty remarks, something he once found irritating. Meera found herself listening to Aarav's stories, captivated by his passion for life. Somewhere in the middle of their rivalry, friendship had quietly slipped in. The festival arrived, and with it came the biggest test of their journey. Standing on stage together, facing hundreds of people, Aarav and Meera delivered a performance that left the audience spellbound. Their teamwork was flawless, their ideas sharp, their energy magnetic. Judges praised their coordination, and when the results were announced, they had not only won, they had set a new record. The crowd erupted in applause, their university celebrated, and in that moment of victory, Aarav and Meera looked at each other, realizing something had shifted forever. The victory was sweet, but what lingered was the bond they had built. After the celebrations, when the noise faded and the crowd dispersed, they found themselves alone on the campus grounds, the night sky spread out above them. For the first time, there was no rivalry, no competition, just silence, heavy with unspoken emotions. Aarav broke it first. He admitted he had always admired her, even when they fought. Meera smiled, confessing she had always respected him, even when she pretended not to. And in that quiet, vulnerable moment, the walls they had built around themselves finally fell. From that day forward, their story was no longer one of rivals. It became a story of love, unexpected, unplanned, yet undeniable. Their friends were shocked, their professors amused, and the university buzzed with the news. The two people who had once been the fiercest competitors were now walking hand in hand, laughing together, proving that sometimes the line between rivalry and love is thinner than we think. Their journey wasn't perfect. Old habits of competition sometimes resurfaced, but instead of tearing them apart, it only strengthened their bond. They learned to celebrate each other's victories, to support each other's dreams, and to find joy in standing not against, but beside each other. Rivals had become partners, not just in competition, but in life. And so, what began as rivalry ended as love. Two people who once pushed each other away found that, in truth, they had been pulling each other closer all along. Their story is proof that love often finds us in the last place we'd ever look in the eyes of the person we thought was our enemy. From rivals to lovers, from competition to companionship, theirs became a story worth remembering. If this unexpected journey of love touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful stories, because sometimes the greatest love begins with a fight.